So in today's lesson, you're going to find out just how quickly you can learn to speak Spanish in 2025 from scratch. And our launch pad is a line from the phenomenally successful Spanish language song, Despacito, Despacito.
Bailar contigo. Bailar contigo. Tengo que bailar contigo.
So we have, Tengo que bailar contigo hoy. Tengo que bailar contigo hoy. Meaning, I have to dance with you today. I have to dance with you today. So let's quickly take this apart. Tengo que is I have to. Well, tengo is I have. Tengo, I have. And tengo que is I have to, as in I must. Bailar is dance or to dance. Bailar. So we have I have to dance. Tengo que bailar. With you is just one word. Contigo. Contigo. With you. And incidentally, with me is conmigo. Contigo, conmigo. But with you, contigo. And today is hoy. So we have Tengo que bailar contigo hoy. And it's important to note, don't try to memorize any of this. Just listen and follow the instructions and you'll learn a lot more that way. So let's just practice saying this line a few times. If you want to sing it, then good for you. I'm not going to insult Mr. Luis Fonsi by attempting that. So let's practice a couple of times saying the line. Tengo que bailar contigo. Tengo que bailar contigo. And if you want to sound more native, then avoid a pause between que and bailar. So for the purpose of teaching the components of the line, I've split it up by saying Tengo que bailar contigo hoy. But when a native speaker says this phrase, the que will be much closer to the verb that follows, bailar, than the tengo. So it would be more like this. And I'll still say it slowly, but just so you hear where the kind of pauses are. Tengo que bailar contigo hoy. Tengo que bailar contigo hoy. So the que and the bailar squash together a little bit. Tengo que bailar contigo hoy. And just to mention that while of course you're going to learn a lot from this video, remember this is a standalone lesson like all videos on this channel, and it's no substitute for a progressive structured course like my very popular all-in-one ProSpanish course. Now we're going to learn two more verbs, two more doing words like to dance, bailar. We're going to learn hablar, which is to speak or to talk. Easy to remember because you can think of blah, blah, blah in the hablar. So hablar, to speak. And the second one is estar, which is to be. And you can think of to be a star. Estar, to be. So hablar is to speak. Estar is to be. Practice saying them a couple of times, and you can say them together. It's easier sometimes to learn two words together. Hablar, estar. Hablar, estar. To speak, to be. By the way, if you're feeling a bit hungover today, as it's New Year's Day, and can't face thinking too much, but want to make good on your resolution to learn Spanish, have a play with this easy app we've just made. It doesn't replace the need for the structured course, but it's easy, it's fun, it doesn't take too much mental effort, and it's much, much faster than Duolingo. And you can access that straight away without putting in any details at prospanish.co.uk/YT, i.e. YouTube. prospanish.co.uk/YT. Okay, so quickly, if we go back to our starting point, which was the line from Despacito, I have to dance with you today. Tengo que bailar contigo hoy. How would you say, I have to speak with you today? And if you need extra time to think of your answer, then pause the recording to give yourself some time. So I have to speak with you today. Tengo que hablar contigo hoy. Tengo que hablar contigo hoy. And you'll have noticed that I was saying it slowly. So because of that, we haven't quite got that native sounding que stuck to the verb because I was splitting it up to make it easier. Tengo que, I have to. Hablar, to speak. Contigo, with you. Hoy, today. But if we want to say it better, we would say tengo que hablar contigo hoy. Tengo que hablar contigo hoy. So that que squashed up to the hablar, snuggled in there. How would you say, I have to be? Do you remember to be a star? I have to be with you today. Actually, let's cut out the today and just say, I have to be with you. How would you say that? Tengo que estar contigo. Or better still, tengo que estar contigo. Tengo que estar contigo. The que nicely snuggled up with estar. What do you think this means? En español. En español. It means in Spanish. Just practice saying it a couple of times. En español. En español. How would you say, I have to speak in Spanish? I have to speak in Spanish. What would that be? And we're leaving out with you. So we're just saying, I have to speak in Spanish, not have to speak with you in Spanish. Tengo que hablar en español. Tengo que hablar en español. I have to speak in Spanish. So I have to, tengo que. And we could put this before any verb. We've already done bailar, I have to dance. Estar, I have to be. Hablar, I have to speak. We could have practicar, practicar, to practice. Tengo que practicar, I have to practice. Tengo que practicar español, I have to practice Spanish. We could have trabajar, to work. Trabajar, to work. What does this mean? Tengo que trabajar. Tengo que trabajar. I have to work. Now, I can, if you want to say I can in Spanish, it's puedo. Puedo. I can. Puedo. So practice it a couple of times. I can. Puedo. So we can say I can speak, which would be, so I can, I mean, it looks like we're saying I can to speak, but we would obviously say I can speak. What would that be? Just two words. Puedo hablar. Puedo hablar. How about I can speak Spanish? What would that be? Puedo hablar español. Puedo hablar español. I can speak Spanish. How would you say, I can be with you? I can be with you. What would that be? If you can remember, be, estar. Puedo estar contigo. Puedo estar contigo. And we'll just take a quick pause there while I mention our very popular Levels 1 to 6 course. This takes the complete beginner or a near beginner right up to a conversational level of Spanish in a series of very easy to follow steps. All the lessons on this YouTube channel are supplementary, whereas the core levels 1 to 6 is very much a step-by-step program delivered by the same teacher as all the other videos on the ProSpanish YouTube channel. And while the style is very similar to what you'll be used to from these videos on the channel, the key difference is that every lesson carefully builds on the previous lessons so that you can really feel that progress of going from very little or no Spanish up to a level where you can confidently hold a conversation in Spanish. So again, that's available exclusively from prospanish.co.uk. The great thing about Spanish is if you want to say something isn't or it's not, you just put no at the beginning. I can is puedo. I can't is no puedo. No puedo. I can't. How would you say I can't speak Spanish? No puedo hablar español. No puedo hablar español. How about I can't be with you? What would that be? I can't be with you. No puedo estar contigo. No puedo estar contigo. I can't be with you. And perhaps a little less sad might be I can't dance with you. Or maybe that would be sadder. I can't dance with you. What would that be? No puedo bailar contigo. No puedo bailar contigo. And we could spice it up a bit by adding I have to dance with Mónica. So, I can't dance with you. No puedo bailar contigo. I have to dance with Mónica. How would you say that? Tengo que bailar con Mónica. Tengo que bailar con Mónica. So, like, really sorry. No puedo bailar. Well, actually, let's add in, I'm sorry. Lo siento. Lo siento. I'm sorry. Lo siento. No puedo bailar contigo. Tengo que bailar con Mónica. Another word for to go out is salir. The English expression to sally forth comes from salir. Salir, to go out. How would you say, I have to go out? What would that be? I have to go out. Tengo que salir. Tengo que salir. How about I can't go out today? Now, can you remember the I can, puedo, I can't, no puedo? So how do you say I can't go out today? No puedo salir hoy. No puedo salir hoy. And if we want to ask a question in Spanish, it's exactly the same as the statement. It's just the tone of voice changes. So, for example, I can speak Spanish. Puedo hablar español. Can I speak Spanish? The question, exactly the same. Puedo hablar español? Just changes, just the intonation rises at the end. Puedo hablar español? Can I speak Spanish? So it might be, can I speak Spanish with you? ¿Puedo hablar español contigo? How would you say, can I speak with you? What would that be? Can I speak with you? Just 3 words. ¿Puedo hablar contigo? ¿Puedo hablar contigo? How would you say, can I go out with you? Can I go out with you? What would that be? Remember to sally forth. ¿Puedo salir contigo? ¿Puedo salir contigo? So let's have a quick recap of everything you've learned. We started off with our line from Despacito, which was Tengo que bailar contigo hoy. I have to dance with you today. We learned tengo que, I have to. Contigo, with you, and hoy, today. We also learned 3 verbs. Bailar, and of course, hablar, to speak, and estar, to be. Bailar, hablar, estar. Well, in fact, it was 4 because we also learned salir, to go out. We learned how to make a negative with no and how to make a question just by changing the tone of our voice. So you can see how quickly and easily it's possible to learn Spanish. And obviously it's much better with a structured, step-by-step, progressive course, just like the all-in-one ProSpanish course, which is available exclusively from prospanish.co.uk.